And I swear by the moon and the stars and the sun in the sky that we cuss a lot on Bewitched Banter. You have been warned, content is not suitable for all listeners.
Welcome. You're listening to Bewitched Banter.
I'm Krista, and I believe that people are inherently shitty.
And I'm Amy, and I tend to believe that people are naturally good.
But ironically, I'm a super believer in the supernatural and all things spiritual.
And I'm a total skeptic.
We're best friends, and in this podcast, we're seeking to explore and understand each other's perspectives with deep dives into the spooky, the spiritual, the magical, and the mystical.
And some straight up spoofs.
I didn't fart, I swear, but it looked like it. Today is Witching Hour story time.
Cheers to that.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Ding, ding. Chin chin. Across the air cheers. We are covering soulmate stories. This one isn't as dark, but it's more like just outragey. For me, especially.
I know it's EHarmony. I'm interested to hear what you got.
Yeah, so Neil Clark Harris, is that his name? Warren, excuse me. Neil Clark Warren is the founder's name, and given the history I shared on Soulmates Tuesday, it is not really a surprise that EHarmony had its roots in religion as well. But I'd also argue this mofo might be a little bit on the eugenics side vibe, and I did not like that shit at all. So a little racisty, a little bit homophobic, and I didn't like that. So
do they not cater to same-sex couples on EHarmony?
They didn't, but they do now.
Okay.
And we're gonna get exactly into that.
Okay.
Do you remember the commercials growing up?
Kind of.
Like the old guy.
I mean, it's been so long. Not really.
Yeah, so that's the former CEO and the founder. But inspired largely by Neil Clark Warren's work, he was a clinical psychologist and wrote the book Finding the Love of Your Life, published in 1993. And
he's the original, or is he the now?
He's the original.
Okay.
And so Warren and his son-in-law, Greg Forgach, founded after writing this book that was very successful, Neil and his son-in-law Greg founded Neil Clark Warren and Associates 2 years later in 1995. And through this company, they would do like marriage seminars and teaching people the tools for building strong marriages and all that kind of shit. So 5 years after that, in 2000, the tech boom, all that, Y2K, they founded EHarmony. And it was one of the very, very first online dating sites to use a compatibility survey to screen its users.
That's smart.
So, in that way, super, super ahead of its time, right? Props to that.
I mean, that's really smart because I feel like people have their non-negotiables or what they think they're looking for in a partner.
Yeah, so I totally respect that, and I totally respect his background as a clinically trained psychologist or psychiatrist. The survey boasted a web-based method of matching the singles for marriage, and in what was termed the 29 dimensions of compatibility. So again, in theory, great. Like, cool. You're actually trying to find people who have the same beliefs and values. Great. But as we know, like innovation and technology in the wrong hands, it can be really dangerous. And one example I have is not from real life, but about the show on Netflix called The One. Have you seen this?
I don't think I've ever heard of it.
It's so good. Wayne and Sam made me watch it last winter, and I binged it. But it's called The One. And essentially, I bring it up because I'm talking about technology in the wrong hands. The really brief bio of the show is love lies and spiral when a DNA researcher helps discover a way to find the perfect partner and creates a bold new matchmaking service. And so essentially, the matchmaking service is not on a compatibility survey, but on your DNA. It's bizarre. It's in this show.
Wait, so your partner is who they think the perfect partner would be for you would be based off your DNA? Okay.
And they've had this massive database based on like alleles and like so like think of mixture of 23andMe plus EHarmony kind of thing.
Okay.
And that's and the app is called The One. She gets into a lot of other shit and trouble because it's really unethical the way that she ran it. And
is it kind of like Black Mirror type vibe?
Kinda, yeah, a little bit. Not as creepy, but still creepy. Anyway, again, I'll give Warren, who's the eHarmony founder, credit as a psychology professional. He did therapy for 35 years, which was heavily focused on marriage counseling.
Oh, props to you. I could not listen to couples complain about each other.
I would either.
No, you could not pay me enough money to be a marriage counselor.
Bitch, you suck. You next.
I would just be like, no, don't be together. I don't want to hear it anymore. Yep. Just break up.
Yes, that's it. That's it.
I don't know how people do that job.
But anyway, he also performed, I did not like this, quote unquote, divorce autopsies.
What does that even mean?
I don't even know, but ugh.
So would he like dissect why they got divorced?
That's what it sounds like. I didn't care enough to look into it, but
I think that's interesting.
I don't know.
I would probably, my problem is I would take sides.
Oh, I would never be a therapist. Fuck no.
You couldn't either. Come on.
I'm too emotional. Absolutely not.
Not even that, but I would take sides. I'd be like,
I wouldn't take sides. I would just be emotional.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. If a guy was
cheating
cheating on a woman, you wouldn't be like, leave her, he sucks. Or leave him, he sucks.
I'd be thinking it.
You would say it.
I would be like, yeah, no. Anyway, he did this shit for 35 years, and he developed an interest in helping singles find their lasting relationships. And the part where I start to recoil, though, about him is that his background is really rooted in religion and theology. So I'll tell you why that's problematic here in a minute. But so he was born in Des Moines, Iowa, and was apparently always interested in love and relationships and compatibility at an early age. Despite his parents, they were married for 70 years.
Wow.
Which is like, okay, cool.
That's really impressive.
Tough to follow these days.
Yeah.
He apparently reports that they had really bad communication as partners, saying they had a nice marriage, but they were not a very well-matched couple. My dad was just so stinking bright and, hold the anger meter. And my mom was so sweet, but she was 2 standard deviations below him in intelligence.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
You would say that about your mom?
Yeah.
That's awful.
Let that settle in for a hot second, because you know where I'm at. Off the radar charts right now, anger.
How would you ever dare say that about your mom?
Yeah, it continues. So he's not only a homophobic, but clearly a misogynist. Later, his dad ran for office in Polk County, where Warren's mother refused to vote because
she didn't want to vote for him?
She didn't think she should be one to meddle in politics.
Interesting.
Yeah, because she's a woman, she shouldn't meddle in politics. Fuck you. Anyway, clearly, she was a kept Christian woman.
She was probably brainwashed.
And muzzled is exactly my next sentence.
Yeah.
Muzzled, both mentally and verbally.
Poor lady.
So, clearly this dude was raised in a really crazy Christian household. And I'm going to say crazy because it's
well, it's toxic.
Fanatical when you get to that point where you're not allowing others to be themselves.
I hope he doesn't have a sister because she's probably messed up in the head.
She probably, I don't know, didn't cover that if he does, but anyway.
I mean, like if you're living in a household that has that kind of views.
Yeah. Can you imagine? Like your own mother is not only just less intelligent, but 2 standard deviations for that. Fuck you. Anyway, he graduated from Pepperdine University in 1956, later went on to study divinity at Princeton Theological Seminary. That is where he also received his master's in 1959 and then continued on to get his PhD in clinical psychology from University of Chicago in 1967. So obviously he's a very educated man.
Mm-hmm. Probably very privileged too, I'm assuming.
But misguided. Yeah, and white privilege as fuck, obviously. Misguided by Christianity, and, because of that, obviously, this influenced a lot of his work at EHarmony. So he stated this. I don't know if he's even Southern. I don't think he is. No, he's not.
You say he's from Iowa, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So he could have an accent. I don't know.
I don't think they have too strong. I think they're more just like Midwest accent.
Yeah, I think in the commercials he was pretty neutral. But anyway, he said, I think there is something very incredible about Jesus. I don't back away from that. At the same time, the public we want to serve is the world. Okay, well, that's fine. But he was not just sexist and raised by a misogynist, like I said. We got to add homophobia to the list. And it's clearly seen in the early stages of eHarmony, which was very blatantly discriminating against same-sex marriages.
What year did the app, or not the app, probably the website come out?
2000. And
okay, so like 22 years ago?
Yeah. And so no shit, because they didn't offer same-sex matches, that got him in trouble in the company in major hot water with the LGBTQ plus community.
Well, yeah.
Right, no shit. And he says this, it'll piss you off as well. Cities like San Francisco, Chicago, New York, they could shut eHarmony down so fast. We don't want to make enemies out of them, but at the same time, I take a real strong stand against same-sex marriage anywhere that I can comment on it. So he's saying in that one sentence, yeah, we want to make money and continue to make money off of the LGBT plus community, but I don't believe in their right to marry. Like, no. Nuh-uh. You don't get to do that. It's one or the, you can't. Anyway, it's ironic because as soon as he realized the financial, of course, implication of this latent exclusivity, in Money Talks, to your point, he walked back his claims and distanced himself from Focus on the Family, which is a fundamentalist Christian organization that he had been really aligned with. And that organization really helped eHarmony get off the ground. But as soon as he had the issue with the LGBT community, he was like, oh, sorry, just kidding, not part of the Focus on the Family anymore.
Oh, so he kind of abandoned who helped him to begin with?
Mm-hmm. Anyway, just is really frustrating to me. Warren explained in 2004 in an interview with Focus on the Family, when he was still with them, we're trying to reach the whole world, people of all spiritual orientations and political philosophies and all racial backgrounds. Well, what about people with different sexual orientations or preferences or gender? Like, you won't get to just select. And by the way, no, you're not trying to reach the world, dude. Like, you're very clearly stuck on this, like, white people marriage system based in Christian values. So the only reason, to answer your earlier question, that eHarmony even launched Compatible Partners, which is the same-sex site of, like, branch, was as a result of discrimination lawsuit in New Jersey.
Oh, so they had to?
They had to. Literally launched Compatible Partners as a separate dating site that enabled users to make same-sex matches was part of the settlement. Like, it wasn't because of a good branding, good PR move. They legally had to do it.
I'm kind of surprised they had to, though, because, like, when you provide a service, do you have to provide all... I'm not saying it was right, but I'm saying also it seems weird to me because, like, obviously... I'm thinking this through. Like, when you do give services, sometimes you only provide certain services. They legally had to. I'm just interested in the legal argument. I'm not saying it was right.
Yeah, I think legally, right? Because, well, the service itself is dating. You can't say you can date here and you can't,
I guess. I'm just interested on how legally that works. Probably would go way above our heads.
Yeah, it would. But that's actually a great question. But to show the point further that it was all just a sham, even though they had to do it legally, the LA Times reporter David Kolker referred to the new website and branch off as a shotgun wedding. He said this hilarious, he used, I think, the hilarious use of this language because on eHarmony.com, there was literally no link visible to Compatible Partners on the main site.
Oh, and I've never heard of the other offshoot.
Me neither, because I don't think they market it because of the...
Well, they probably like, well, we have to. Let's throw a website up, but let's not market it. Let's not make it our brand. Kind of like sweep it under the rug.
Exactly. And according to Mashable, people on Compatible Partners who were interested in both men and women had to buy 2 subscriptions.
Wow.
Yeah. So while they settled that lawsuit in Jersey, Another one in California was the catalyst that actually linked the two sites together. And this was after 2 years of them being completely separate sites.
Mm-hmm.
So
that's when eHarmony offered.
So it offered the compatible partners, I want to say like 5 years after launch, around 2005-06. And then 2 years after that lawsuit, there was another lawsuit that was like, you got to put this shit together. You can't separate them.
Oh, okay. Interesting.
And by that time, it was 2010. The company eHarmony had already spent $1.5 million on their legal.
That's probably a drop in the bucket to them, though.
Yeah, probably. So Warren retired from running eHarmony in 2007, and I think I have my editorial notes. Probably to escape the heat and rightful wrath of the LGBTQI plus community. And then later, he came back as CEO in 2012.
Oh, that's convenient.
Yeah, right? That's what I thought.
Must be nice for him.
Right. Well, apparently he wasn't done with his homophobic hate either. Because in 2013, Warren told CNBC that eHarmony was forced to put up a same-sex and gay marriage website, and that it had really damaged the company. Somehow,
Mm-hmm.
do you think the site still gets used?
No.
Somehow it still gets more than 2 million messages a week as of February 2021.
Wow.
It's almost a year ago. It's still getting 2 million views or messages a week.
It's probably like generation above us who uses it, I'm assuming.
Yeah.
I don't think it's really targeted for young people.
Mm-mm. Anyway, it then launched again around this time last year. It launched its first queer inclusive commercial. And this featured a lesbian couple as part of its Real Love campaign. And apparently it was pissing off conservatives.
When was this year?
Last February.
Year, okay.
A year ago, it had this Real Love campaign trying to promote compatible partners, the same-sex branch of the dating app. And I just found it hilarious. This headline's funny from MSNBC. So eHarmony's new inclusive ads are enraging some on the right. The online matchmaker recently launched its first ad with a lesbian couple. Sorry, the headline wasn't funny. What's funny is the people that are protesting it.
Oh, of course.
Okay, so publicly, Warren, again, was this devout Christian and seminary professor and psychologist. And he claimed that he had no expertise when it came to gay dating. And that's why it took so long to get the damn site up. But in 2005, before same-sex marriage was recognized in most of its states, or most of the U.S., he said, we don't really want to participate in something that's illegal. So he couched not having the same-sex site on it being illegal, even though it was really clearly his beliefs that he did.
Yeah.
Little piece of shit. So guess what? He stepped down again in 2016 as CEO.
Wow.
He's no longer involved with the company. And since 2009, eHarmony has been led by a 3-person team. And they claim that their Real Love campaign is totally new and above whatever. But anyway, the Karens of the world on the right that were pissed off.
Well, they're always mad about stuff that doesn't even impact them.
Oh, listen to what this Karen said. The eHarmony had, featuring 2 women, brainwashes children and adults by desensitizing them and convincing them that homosexuality is natural. And this was a statement by a mom from the 1 in a Million Moms website. And she's continued to say, when in reality, it is an unnatural love that is forbidden by the scripture, just like love rooted in adultery is forbidden.
Is 1 in a Million like a conservative group?
Conservative moms group.
I've never heard of it.
Yeah. Well,
so they just get on there and bitch each other, basically?
Pretty much. And like fight against gay rights, basically.
Well, I'm sure several other things too.
And anti-abortion probably too. God knows. So this mom, this Karen, started a petition which called on eHarmony to pull the Real Love campaign ad and the spot. This petition received 15,300 signatures as of Tuesday.
15,000?
Yeah.
That's pretty pathetic.
Yep, exactly. So I'm extremely disappointed that eHarmony is refusing to remain neutral.
Then don't use the freaking website.
Oh,
if it bothers you so much, just don't use the website.
Yeah, exactly.
It's like when people...
Mind your business, Karen. Mind your business.
Just don't use it.
Yeah.
If it doesn't align with your values, don't use the website.
Right.
It's that simple.
Yep.
Move on with your life.
Yep. Nope, they can't.
Go to Christians only.
They don't know how. Oh, man.
I just think
I think it's Christian Mingle.
Oh, is it?
It's J-Day and Christian Mingle.
I just don't understand, why would you even care about a business that has nothing to do with your life?
They got nothing to do with
I
their
am not
lives.
invested in eHarmony. I'm not invested in Netflix. Well, I am invested in Netflix.
Yeah, I'm definitely invested in Netflix.
I spent a lot of time on that, but no, I just don't get it. Why do you care? Just move on with your day.
So, well, the new leaders, again, they claim that they're not succumbing to these Karens' tirades. And they say one of our main objectives is to ensure we're always striving to create a culture that's diverse, inclusive, and welcoming. La da la la. Blah, blah, blah. Anyway, eHarmony's benefits package, you'll be happy to know, actually, for 2021, now covers gender-affirming surgery, as well as equal parental leave, regardless of gender identity.
That's good.
Or orientation. So they said, we're proud of the changes we've made to our platform. We recognize that we all have work left to do and are committed to finding ways to be more inclusive to people of all gender identities and sexual orientations. So,
I mean, I think that's kind of, unfortunately, a lot of companies just slowly had to change their mindset. I mean, a lot's changed in people's mindset even in 20 years.
Oh, absolutely. But that is the religious roots of eHarmony. And
I had no idea it was religious based. That's interesting.
Yep, sure was. And
I'm kind of not, unfortunately, I wish I was more surprised that they weren't all inclusive, but I'm not that surprised at the same time.
Yeah.
Especially based on the time.
Yeah, I guess in
2000,
retrospect.
I mean, it's unfortunate, but 2000, I feel like, well, who knows? I feel like, it's slowly things are getting better and things are getting more inclusive, but it's a long road ahead.
Oh, yeah. Still.
Yeah.
Definitely. I mean, all of that community has fought for it well over more than just the last 20 years, right? But it's like, I don't know. Just like you said, the Karens, like, just why do you give a shit? First of all, why do you care who's fucking who? Why don't you go get fucked, Karen? Get you some dick. Why don't you worry about that first? Like, that's what I always think about. Like, who do you care who's loving who?
That's what it doesn't, and then I think most of those people probably, I'm like, do you even know anyone who maybe identify as gay? Like, do you even know anyone?
Probably not.
Do you have a relationship, or is this just some deep fear just because you've never really left like your cave or your small little community and went out and met people different than you?
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I totally am under the belief of, like, I don't understand sometimes why people get so worked up about things that have no impact in their lives.
It's insane.
Like, also the abortion thing, sometimes I'm like, if you don't believe in it, don't get one.
Right.
But let people make their own choices about their bodies, their lives.
Pro-choice, baby.
I just don't understand why people are so worried about everyone else's business when it has nothing to do with you. No impact on your life. But again, that's obviously why our country's so divided, because we can't understand each other.
So that was real shitty. But from what I understand, you have a funny...
Yes.
You got some gags for us.
Yeah, mine's going to be lighthearted. So
okay.
I'm going to do a few lighthearted, and let's just jump into it.
All right.
I'll bring it up a notch.
Awesome. All right, so before we do take it up a notch, Amy and I have partnered with another podcast, super happy to do so for the first time ever, and that is with our friend John McDonald over at the Not So Random Rants podcast. And we've got a little message from him, our friend from Canada, and this week's episode he talks about COVID in Canada and how much more strict they were up there than we were here, God knows. But a lot of funny stories there, and true story, my friends may or may not have smuggled their babies into the States from Toronto. No shade there. But anyway, enjoy John McDonald's podcast.
How you doing out there, everybody? This is John McDonald in the Not So Random Rant podcast, where I'm going to share some of my random thoughts, rants, general nonsense, but sometimes useful information for your listening entertainment. I hope you enjoy and have a beautiful day.
All right. Thanks again, John, for sharing your pod waves with us and for us, and we're happy to do the same for you. Now, back to the banter with your favorite Bewitches.
So I didn't know where to start. I felt really corny on Google searching soulmates because I was like, soulmate love story. And I was like looking through Google, and you know me. I was like, I can't do this. I can't tell some sappy love story. So first I was like, do I tell a prisoner love story? Because we talked about that with our serial killers episode.
Yes, we did.
And I think that would be a really fun topic to cover at some point. Like, why are, obviously it's mostly women, so in love with people who are serial killers and committed terrible acts.
Yeah.
But instead, I kept landing on a list. It was like top 10 craziest things people have done for love. And I clicked on them, and some of them were gold. And I was like, okay. So instead of doing one story like I normally do, I'm going to do like a whole bunch of them.
Okay, sweet. Let's do it. I'm excited.
And I named my story.
Do we get to rank the crazy?
Yes, definitely.
Fuck yeah. Okay.
And I ended on a sweet note because I was like, I definitely have to end it on a very sweet note.
She does have some sweet in her, guys. I swear she does. It's a beauty. It's a beautiful gem when it comes out. Like one time this summer, was it this summer? I was like, you're being so sweet today. We had a bunch of gummies and you were like love festing. And I was like,
it comes out every once in a while.
What the fuck is happening? Am I stoned?
So I named my story Bitch You a Fool.
I sure was once.
Or Love Stories Gone Embarrassing. I don't know.
Okay, all right.
But my first question, and I know we kind of talked about this a lot in our history segment, but I thought I'd kick it off by asking you, have you ever done anything that you may be embarrassed to admit now in the name of love?
Yes.
Do you have any examples for your...
No surprise, it was listening to a psychic's advice about...
I'm embarrassed for you.
about my marriage.
What was their advice?
And
when was this?
This was 5-6 years ago.
Are we in Sedona?
Nope.
Where at?
I met the psychic here.
At my house?
In Scottsdale.
Okay.
And
I'm just kidding about that.
She said...
How much did you pay for this session?
This one was only like $50. She had advised me to... This was... God, I don't know. It was probably more than 6 years ago, actually.
Were you in college or like a young professional?
No, you're a young professional still. And just after one of our big-ass blowout fights. And so I left the house. And this is when we were living in Scottsdale, actually. And I've never told anybody this. So I'm like, wow, this is big. But
are you embarrassed right now?
Uh-huh.
Okay.
As fuck.
You're going to feel better at the end of my story, though. So just admit it, because it's going to make you look like a normal person.
Okay. I hope.
Okay, now
okay,
I really want to know. I'm excited.
I left the house. I went to Subway to get some food. And
then it just dawned on you I should go see a psychic?
And no, I was like just in my car parked, just sitting there like this for a while. And all of a sudden, I see this woman next to me staring at me. And I think it was a cool, not too hot yet because the windows were down, a coolish, some spring Arizona day. And she's like, I'm so sorry. I've been watching you. Like, are you okay? Like, do you need something? Do you need help?
I mean, that's nice.
So, yeah, of course, she sucked me in. And she said, listen, I'm a psychic. I'm going to offer you a free reading. Come to my shop. It's in Old Town. So I did.
You paid $50, right?
Later.
Okay.
Went to her a few times. First time was like, whatever, bullshit that night. And then the second time.
Was it therapeutic, though?
To tell someone that we were in a sexless marriage? Yeah.
I thought you were married at that point, though.
Well, practically. I mean, we were common law married. She advised me to, one, make like a rainbow talisman, basically, like a what do you call it? Help me out. Dream catcher with all the colors of the chakras. And
what is a chakra?
Like
energy
spheres in different
I
parts
never
of your
really
body.
knew what it was.
Yeah, we're gonna cover that definitely. And so I did. I went to Michael's, sure as shit, the next day, bought all the colors of the rainbow and made some type of like little weird thing, put it under the bed.
She told you to put it under the bed?
And I did. He found it. Was like, what the fuck is this? Are you doing witchery on me? You better never do that shit on me. And I was like,
You should have just said your arts and crafts project.
I should have. And so there was that. Yeah,
so he instantly thought that?
No, he found it later. Like,
but if I found that underneath her bed, I'd just be like, Corey, what weird... Well, first of all, I'd be like, very confused. But second of all, I wouldn't think it was some kind of spell.
Well, think about the context and what he was raised with.
Okay.
Right? And Catholicism and Santeria, right? So, of course, he knew. He's like, what the fuck? This is some witchy shit. I don't want this. You better never put no spell on me. So you can practice whatever the fuck you want to do, but you don't ever put a spell on me. And I was under his spell, so I listened. That was one thing. And the other thing, I'm so embarrassed that she told me, was to buy a red car. So do you remember before I got in a really bad accident, I had a red CRV, like the color of this? It was really for a hot second.
I don't remember that. I only remember you having a white car.
Yeah, so before that, I had, for a very brief second...
Do you think she was in the big red car industry?
Probably, honestly. So I did. But anyway, it was a good car for a while we had it. But anyway,
what did she think the red car was going to do?
It was for love. It represented love.
Were you in
the root chakra?
Were you searching for a new car, or you just went and bought a new red car?
Basically just went and bought it. Wow. Well, it worked out because my old Honda broke down. So it actually kind of timely worked out. But yeah.
Did she tell you what dealership to go to?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Her husband definitely was working there.
worked there. Side note is that car crumpled to pieces when I got into
what
an
dealership
accident.
was it?
Showcase Honda.
In Scottsdale?
Mm-hmm.
We should put them on blast.
No, it wasn't their fault. I mean, it was
well, the husband's conning sad people to buy
we don't know for
red
a fact,
cars.
but you're probably right. That's my most embarrassed. I never told anybody that. I'm so embarrassed. There you have it, Ames. There you have it.
We should go to that car dealership and whoever's looking at red cars, see how sad they look. To find out if the psychic sent them there.
Well, from what I think her shop closed down, to be honest with you, and I think she moved out of state because
she probably someone caught on to her.
Yeah, I think so.
I mean, I can't top that at all.
So,
well, wait,
tell me I topped those people topped me.
You're on there.
Oh no,
with the red car. I'm a little. No. These will make you feel a little better.
A little. Gee, thanks.
Okay.
All right.
So I don't even need to explain. People do crazy things for love, obviously.
Mm-hmm.
But my first story is going to align, and we've done several stories like this. The devil made me do it, right?
Mm-hmm.
But this time it's going to be with a twist. The twist is that the devil made me do it for love.
Okay.
Jose Ferraris and his son Victor, they went to Walmart. And the reason they went to Walmart is they told Jose's the father, right?
Okay.
The ex-wife to meet there. And from what I could tell, I don't think she wanted her name released. She's probably really embarrassed.
Good for her. Yeah, protect yourself, girl.
Yeah. So they told her to meet at Walmart because they wanted to talk and see if they could do anything to repair the broken marriage.
Okay.
So I'm thinking, why Walmart? Why?
I was like, no. I actually just had a really horrible flashback of me in the Walmart parking lot when we were going through our separation and him basically saying I'm out. And I was like, great, cool story, bro. I'm sitting outside a fucking Walmart and you're just not gonna try? That's fine. Fuck you.
But at least he wasn't trying to repair the marriage, because I feel like nothing screams romance like Walmart. There's that couple who got married at Walmart. Have you saw
what?
Yes.
No, that's crazy.
That definitely happened.
What? Discounted licenses. Rollback prices on your marriage license.
People, I just looked it up. So people have got married at Walmart. One says one Pennsylvania couple answered that question by bringing the wedding to their coworkers at a local Walmart. And so they got married in the garden section. So it has happened. And I don't know if it's happened
I
multiple
guess if it's a cheap free venue.
God, One of the next searches is, because it's like popular searches, who got married at Walmart, and the next is, can I have my wedding at Walmart? Wait,
I'm sorry, people actually asked that?
Yeah, and then another search was, can you get married at Costco?
What the fuck?
And then underneath this is 4 months too soon to get married. Yeah, so these who are Googling these things. Okay, moving on.
You're going to get a bunch of wedding rings in your ads now.
Back to Jose.
They're at Walmart.
Right? They're at Walmart. Yeah. So the son and the father, they meet the ex-wife. They convince her to get in their car. The wife, ex-wife, obviously, she jumps in the car not really thinking anything of it. And she doesn't realize that she's actually being kidnapped. And the reason they're kidnapping her is because they want to perform an exorcism on her.
Oh, no.
So on the way home, so this must have been pre-planned, not just like last minute, obviously.
Yeah.
So they're on the way home. They pick up 2 priests, and against her will, when they get home, they perform an exorcism and douse her with sacred oil and perform like a sacred rituals.
Oh my God.
Can you imagine?
That's terrible. Terrifying, terrible.
But it's kind of funny also, like, did they think she was like possessed? And that's why she didn't want to be with Jose. Like, I'm kind of questioning it, And the son must have thought she was possessed too.
Oh my God,
I guess when the police, when it's all happened, the police interviewed her and like the son and Jose, and they said they were like basically like play by play did what they did in the movie The Exorcism.
Oh, that poor woman.
And thankfully, the ex-wife's roommate called the police after she had been missing for so many hours. And that's the only reason they found her being like, would it be exorcised would be the right word, against her will?
I think so, yeah.
Okay. And the latest information I could find is that Victor and Jose were held without bail, and they've been detained by the U.S. Border Patrol.
Oh, shit.
Yeah.
That ain't good. Look.
No.
Well, good luck there, guys.
And I found a lot of these on...
oh, my God. She never gets married again.
No, that's batshit crazy.
Yeah. Holy shit. All right, I feel better. I feel better about my red car.
You don't want to be with me? It must be because the devil got you. No way, just because... It probably was because you're freaking crazy.
Yeah.
So I got a lot of these from complex.com, which I've never heard of before.
Like, what's that?
And I loved this. It said, so when the next story, the author wrote, they start off by telling this story, quote, "Don't deny grandma a kiss or she might shoot up your crib."
Uh-oh.
Yeah. Helen Staudinger, she had basically what I would call like a mad crush on her neighbor. But the big difference is that she was at the age of 92. And
okay. Ain't nothing wrong with seniors getting it in.
Yeah, and then Dwight, her neighbor, was 53. Definitely could have been her kid.
Okay.
And when you look at her mugshot, she definitely looks like she's 92. A little old.
Get it, Grandma.
Helen just loved Dwight, so she would bring him food all the time and cook for him. And honestly, Dwight was like, who wouldn't? He accepted her meals.
Yeah.
Like, who wouldn't take a homemade meal?
Hell yeah.
And I would kind of probably just assume my neighbor was being sweet, right?
Yeah, like a nice grandma.
Yeah, I'm like, oh, she wants to take care of me, right? But she felt like she was being led on. And one day she went over.
It's not funny. It is so funny.
Well,
oh my God. Okay.
She went over there one day and she demanded that he kiss her. She was like, "You are leading me on and you need to kiss me now." Well, Dwight,
I'm sorry. This is so... okay.
So he's like, "No, Granny, I don't want to kiss you."
Oh,
so
no.
Granny now whips out her 350 semi-automatic pistol.
Oh, no.
And just starts shooting up the house.
Were there other people in the house?
Well, thankfully, no one got harmed.
Oh, my God.
Yeah, but Granny was like, "You better kiss me, motherfucker."
Did he kiss her?
No.
I don't know. Maybe he just stopped the shooting.
She was taken into custody, and the officers questioned her, like...
Did they bring her to a mental hospital?
I don't know. I don't think so. But they were like, "Why are you shooting up your baby crush? Like, baby boy, Dwight. Like, why are you shooting him?" And she said that she claims that her and Dwight went on several dates, and she always paid. And she was just mad because Dwight never paid his fair share. Like, he never paid it forward and
What
paid
dates?
a meal.
We sure?
This is her
memory.
This is her version of the story.
Oh my God. Was Dwight married though?
He must have been single.
Okay.
Yeah. I don't know all the details about
I'm
it.
all interested. Yo, Dwight, I'm single too.
I want to know what Dwight looks like.
Me too. He must have been real fine for getting grandma's groins going.
And then this next story, I can't believe it. I guess this girl, her name is Kelly Summers, right?
Okay.
And like most of us, when you're heartbroken, like obviously you want to vent to your friends, your family, but I personally don't want the whole world to know that I'm like sad, right?
Mm-hmm.
And like, how do you feel about people seeing you cry?
My heart's always on my sleeve. So if I'm going to cry, if I'm going to be mad, you don't see it,
I hate it. I hate seeing
really?
people see me cry. Yeah.
Oh, that's so interesting. No, I don't care.
I think it's embarrassing. This girl obviously is nothing like me. She decided to post, I'm not even kidding you, 62 videos of her sobbing and having an emotional breakdown on YouTube.
Oh boy. Yikes.
But I guess people love this shit. She has over 11,000 subscribers.
What the fuck?
I don't know. Should we promote her and put the link on our Facebook?
No, I'm good.
It actually worked, though. Her crying and being upset won back her love. Her boyfriend said that he was able to see such raw emotion, and it made him realize that he really did love Kelly. It only took 62 videos, but...
Oh, interesting. Or in person crying. I'm sure they thought before, like, really, bro?
That's dedication to the cause, though. Do you think
That's true.
62?
Yeah, no, I'm out.
I mean, there's times I've cried like for hours on end, though, so I could take like 60 videos
2 minutes,
in that moment.
Yeah, I mean, no. I'm surprised it worked, though. Good for her.
I
You know
know.
what? Didn't work for me. Well, I didn't post it on YouTube. That's the difference.
I know,
but
you could have been a YouTube star.
Shit, I could have been an influencer, damn it.
I mean, also, like, most people when they sob, I looked at a picture of her crying and I was like, ooh. It's like, she has like the ugly face when you cry.
Yep. I did not allow that to happen when we signed our papers. I said, this mofo ain't not going to see me cry today.
Good for you.
You
you
came
held it
over
in?
right after. But I said, nope.
Did he cry?
Not that I saw.
Wow. Now I'm going to tell you a shitty love story.
Oh.
So a man named Rasheed Harrison, he was broken up in Staten Island, right?
Okay.
And he must be pretty crazy because most people, when you break up, you like text them, you try to buy them flowers, try to win them back over.
Yeah.
Well, he did the opposite. He decided it was a good idea to rub literal shit.
Oh,
His
honey.
shit. All over
His shit. Okay.
all over her front door.
Oh no. That's so bad.
And then he decided to light himself on fire and yell, "I am the devil."
Oh, there's a lot of mental illness in this your people here.
Yeah, I guess I didn't really realize that when I was typing it out.
Yikes.
And he did land a date, but it was a date with the court.
Oh.
Yes.
Nice pun. Oh, she thinks she's funny, guys. It's great. I love it.
Yeah, I'm corny as hell. Okay, so the next story, this one is actually kind of sad. Her name is Brenda Delgado, and she actually ended up on the FBI's 10 most wanted list because jealousy got the best of her.
Oh. Is she still wanted?
I'll get to it.
Mm-hmm.
So basically, it's the normal story. Brenda finds out that her new boyfriend, or her ex-boyfriend, I should say, started to date a new girl named Kendra Hatcher.
Ooh, you better watch out, Kendra. Brenda coming for you.
Brenda's extremely jealous because she found out that Kendra had gone on vacation with her ex. So that's like, and met his parents. So she knows at this point it's like really serious.
Ooh, yeah.
Like, this isn't just a fling. He's really moving on from me.
Oh my God, I can't wait to do that. Sorry.
This led her to hire a hitman to murder Kendra Hatcher. So on September 2015, Kendra Hatcher was found dead in the parking garage of her apartment complex, which is like tragic.
Holy shit.
Brenda hired 2 people to murder Kendra. She hired Christopher Love and Crystal Kors to drive the drive-away car. Crystal Kors told the police that Brenda paid her $500 to be part of the mission, which to me is like nothing. Like, how desperate must have that lady been? $500?
Sad.
Brenda told her that she had been I don't know how she did this, but somehow she was tracking Kendra's location through her iPhone the whole time. I don't know how.
They can do it. They have iPhone tags now. My kids were telling me about this.
Brenda told Crystal if she told anyone or snitched, she would come after her son, the woman she hired. And for the other accomplice, Christopher Love, Brenda had told him that she was part of the Mexican cartel. And basically, as a way to motivate him to kill Kendra, she told him that she had connections to the cartel, and the cartel would be able to supply him with like a steady drug stream. And so he would be able to like, hey, with this, if you do this, I will hook you up with the cartel and you're going to be very rich.
That's fucked up too.
When this was all discovered, Brenda fled to Mexico, and she ended up being on the FBI's top 10 most wanted list. And she was actually the 9th woman ever to be listed. So, like, going down in history, obviously not for a good thing. She was tracked down by the Mexican authorities, and last I could read, she's still waiting in a Mexican jail, waiting her trial. While Cortez and Love, the two accomplices that she hired, they've been charged with capital murder.
Good.
Yeah, and hopefully Brenda, her time will come too.
Oh my God, that's terrible.
This story, to me, my jaw dropped. Okay. I just could not. I was like, what kind of weird world are we living in? And it actually, when you were talking about soulmates, like being combined as a body, I thought about this story, but I was biting my lip. I was like, I can't tell it yet. I gotta wait for this episode.
Interested.
There's one couple named Neil and Jacqueline, and they decided they loved each other so much that they spent over $200,000 on cosmetic surgeries to look alike.
Ew.
Is that not creepy?
I'm so grossed out in so many ways. Where do we begin?
They decided to get matching boob jobs, matching eyes, and nose jobs. Which eyes would it just be like changing the shape of your eyes, I'm assuming?
Yeah, probably. Wait, I'm sorry. Was one of them male and just got big implants?
Neil and Jacqueline.
Wow.
I have a picture to show you in a second.
I'm so curious. I need to see it now.
Amazing to me the amount of things people can do to alter their body, like things you don't even think about.
Oh, I know. It's insane.
Chin and cheek implants. They even got matching beauty marks.
Oh, no.
And they decided they wanted to be twins.
Oh, no.
So very tragic. Jacqueline did pass away from cancer. And Neil had the I don't know if they were married, to be honest. I'm sure they were. He has still kept moving forward with having plastic surgeries, even though she's passed away, to look like her. And he refers to himself as we, not me. Like he is her now.
Oh my God.
You want to see a picture? I don't.
Yes, please.
They're not,
so creepy.
I can't zoom in, but let me show you.
My mouth drops right now.
Don't they look? They look like the older sister and a younger sister.
They do, or like Olsen twins, kinda from here. But yeah, they look like sisters.
Like the matching hair and the lips, and
that's so psychologically like messed up.
Yes. Well, on that topic, this is messed up too.
Oh no.
For a romantic proposal, a man in Russia named Alexei Baikov told his girlfriend to meet him at a restaurant. He then proceeded to hire a movie director, a stuntman, makeup artist, and even a script writer. So this is when you kind of start to imagine like the perfect Queer Eye moment, right?
Aww.
Like it's going to be really sweet.
Yeah.
Far from that.
Okay.
So where the proposal was filmed, he decided to fake his death from a horrific car accident. He said that the reason he did this is because he wanted his girlfriend to know what it would be like to not have him in her life.
Okay.
And he said he even wanted her to know that her life would have no meaning without her. So I'm like, what the hell?
Holy shit, psychological damage.
Yes. So his girlfriend comes to the scene, thinks he's dead, and then he pops up with a balloon and proposes to her.
I have no... What?
Yeah.
I have no words.
I would be so angry. And I'm like, the one...
And creepy with the balloon, like, fucking it. Like, you know, clownish.
And what a mind fuck.
Right. Why are you... That's not love at all. That's control.
And he wanted you to know your life had no meaning without him.
Yeah, that's narcissistic bullshit.
I'd be really upset too because I'd be like, this is supposed to be like when you get proposed to, like that's supposed to be a celebration, a moment of like pure happiness, and you took me from like dark spiral, and then now you're trying to make it a romantic moment.
Oh my god, did they end up getting married?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, well then she's just as fucked up.
And I'll show you I'll have to show you the picture, and I'm gonna post it as the Insta of like all his blood on him.
That's disgusting and awful and cruel. What's wrong with her though that she didn't run out the door?
But this one is about hiring a hitman, but it ends up being kind of funny.
Okay, all right.
Not so dark as my other one. I had to bring it down a little, you know.
Always, you do that.
Mark Nilza found out that her husband was cheating on her, so she decided to hire a hitman to kill his lover. And I'm kind of questioning, like, where do people go to even find a hitman?
Where do you go to get... Let's not Google it, because then we'll be tracked by the FBI, but you know.
She hired an unemployed ex-convict to kill her husband's girlfriend.
Oh,
so
boy.
Carlos is...
Hey, she's giving back to society.
Yeah. He needs a job. He needs a job, right?
He's employing
Everyone needs
fellow
a job.
criminal or former criminal.
Everyone needs a job. So Carlos, the hitman, finds out that Lupita, the husband's lover... So Lupita's like the new lover.
Okay.
Is actually one of his childhood friends that he's been hired to kill. Isn't that like such a small world?
Whoa.
Yeah. Carlos, for this reason, can't murder her, but wants to get money for the job.
For this reason, I'm out.
Not necessarily. You think that's what he would have done.
Oh.
He tells Lupita about how he was hired to kill her, and she actually plays along, and she puts ketchup all over herself. And he takes pictures of her to give to Maria so he can get his money.
Come on, y'all. Y'all need the previous guy's Hollywood artist.
I know, come on. A week after this happened, Maria pays out Carlos. So she thinks Lupita is long gone. And she is out in public. Can you even imagine? She walks out and she sees Carlos and Lupita like canoodling and like total PDA out in public together.
Ooh.
When she had just paid him to murder Lupita.
Oh my
and then
God.
Lupita obviously is not very faithful to her ex-husband either.
No kidding. Oh my God.
And this is like total being a dumbass. Maria then goes to the police. Like, what is she thinking? To report Carlos to the police for not following through on his commitment of killing Lupita.
Oh my God.
So I'm thinking these are like the dumbest people alive. Maria is charged with issuing death threats, and the couple was also charged, surprisingly, with fraud and extortion. So they all kind of got in trouble at the end of the day.
Well, shoot. I don't know why they should if they didn't go through with it.
And Maria's ex-lover is probably like, woo.
I've escaped that
Thank
one.
God I'm not with Maria. Thank God I'm not with Lupita. I need to go see a therapist because I have terrible taste in humans.
Oh my God, yes.
And then I was going to end it on a positive note.
Okay, let's hear it.
This one will warm our hearts for Valentine's Day.
Oh.
Anna
And we need some warmth. It's chilly in here today.
Anna and Boris Kozlov, which I can't say, obviously very Russian. Yeah. Were married during Stalin's attempt to get rid of all his political enemies. This is when Anna disappeared without any trace.
Oh, no.
Only 3 days after Anna and Boris had tied the knot, Boris had to leave for another part of the country because he was in the army. And they had no idea at this point this was going to be the last time they would see each other.
Okay.
Anna wanted to leave an address or some kind of note, like, because they just got married. Can you imagine just leaving and he has no explanation? And she wanted to be able to reunite with him. But Anna's mother was really worried. Like, if you leave a note and tell Boris where you're at, they're going to come track us down.
Mm-hmm.
Anna's father was basically an enemy of the state. And for this reason, Anna and her family had to flee.
Oh, shit.
And that's why she couldn't leave a note. And it wasn't until 60 years later that they accidentally bumped into each other again. 60 years.
Okay, that's sweet.
Boris had traveled home to visit his parents' grave and stopped by the house that him and Anna had spent only 3 nights of their marriage in together. So only 3 nights the house they like had planned their whole lives in.
Okay,
And he
now
stopped
you're
to
speaking to my romantic side. Damn it.
And he steps out of the car, and you would not believe the luck of this, but Anna was standing right there too. And they
Oh,
instantly
my
knew it was
God.
each other and cried tears of joy. And obviously 60 years is a lifetime. So they had remarried, but at that point, both of their spouses had passed away.
Wow.
They instantly fell in love again and got remarried after 60 years.
Okay, so maybe love does exist.
Isn't that really sweet?
Oh my God, I'm like got chills.
I forgot. I need to post a picture of them too as well because that's cute.
That is the sweetest real life love story I've ever heard.
Isn't that 60 years?
Okay, maybe love does exist.
And what is the luck that she would be standing right in front of the house too?
Fate, serendipity, as I would have it.
So which one's the craziest to you?
Ooh. I think it's a toss-up between the other Russian guy that faked his death or I think it was the twinning thing that creeped me out real bad.
I think mine is the couple that had plastic surgery to look like each other.
Yeah,
that's
like nip tuck messed up level, you know? Did you ever watch Nip Tuck?
Oh, I did.
It
Back
was
in the
really,
day, yeah.
like,
it was creepy.
Really dark and creepy, and it got into that kind of, like, possession and psychological mess up. Yeah, that grosses me out, man.
And I love the Maria hiring the hitman, and then they end up
Ketchup.
like the hitman and the woman he's supposed to kill end up getting together.
Who knows where I'll find love next?
Anyway,
maybe it'll be my hitman.
That is my segment of stories. I thought it was fun.
Oh, it was super
Hopefully they're
fun.
all real, because some of them are so outlandish, but
The things people do for love.
I do think we have learned that people are crazy.
No doubt.
They probably are real.
Yeah, absolutely. That was wild, like crazy ass people. But it did make me feel better about my story.
Yeah, that was a good one. I'm glad I've never heard that story. I'm glad you told me that tonight.
I'm mortified, but now everyone knows. Great.
Would you ever buy a red car again?
Probably not.
Or do you feel like a red cars are like cursed?
Yeah, I do. Mm-hmm.
I like white cars better anyway,
Yeah.
personally. And you have a white one now, so
Yeah, exactly.
probably moving up in the world.
Moving on up. Lightness is what I'm going to pretend it represents.
I can't believe that psychic kind of conned you.
Oh,
like,
yeah, I was conned.
Were you crying, or do you feel like you just looked really visibly upset?
I was crying in that car, yeah.
Okay. And she probably knew, oh, this is a money maker.
Yeah, vulnerable person. Let me snatch her up.
Yeah, let me get her in, try once, and then she's going to come back.
Yep. Exactly what
How
happened.
many times did you go to her?
Handful.
Oh, it just shows you they're all con artists,
Yeah.
in my opinion.
Again, 99.9% are, I think. And unfortunately, I was sucked in. And that's why I haven't been to one in a really long time, aside from the birth of Bewitched Banter, actually.
Oh, that's right. That was a good night.
But because of that instance, I'm like, nope.
Well, you probably feel like you got taken advantage of and kind of made like the fool.
I was, and I did. It's embarrassing, but I did it for love.
Well, that was kind of the whole premise. Well, anyway, we hope you guys have a great Valentine's Day, or just don't celebrate it. Like I said, 1 year I went and got a gym membership. That was awesome too.
Yeah, I'm proud of you.
And next week we are covering hypnotism, which will be a fun one.
No, that's like I'm thinking of.
No, it's look in my eyes.
You're
Watch
getting
this clock
sleepy.
swing back and forth.
Very
Actually, from my research
sleepy.
already, it's not. Actually, that's what people think it is, but it's nothing like that. And we'll talk about that next week.
Have you ever been hypnotized?
Oh my God, that is a story for another day.
Okay, we'll save it.
I have not been hypnotized, but I will save it for next week.
Holy shit! I gotta know.
It's about a weirdo I met in college.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sweet. Well,
That story's embarrassing. Okay.
all right, let's hear Amy's embarrassing story next week.
Yeah, but anyway, hypnotism from my research is actually we all have an impression of what it is, but it's not actually what we think it is as a society.
Cliffhanger.
But I am...
Tune in next week to find out.
I'm trying to find different sources, though, because some of them I'm like, are you just trying to sell me on hypnotism? And then I got to find the scientific community. Like, what do you think now?
Yep. So I kind of came across that, too. I was like, this guy's totally trying to get me to take his classes or read his book next.
Yeah, you kind of can tell sometimes you're like the way they're so positive about it. I'm like, okay, I need a more neutral lens.
Yeah.
Anyway, so that should be a fun topic, and we hope you have a great Valentine's and soulmate.
Do not get hypnotized into your soulmate.
Yes. Don't get drunk in love.
But do get drunk and get some.
Well, on that note, I'm going to say peace, bewitches.
Peace.
Thanks for listening. Check us out on Instagram or bewitchedbanter.com. Suggestions for the show? Emails at bewitchedbanter@gmail.com. Credits, Music Phantom Fun by Jonathan Boyle from premiumbeat.com. Podcast, edited and produced by Krista Hins and Amy Holt. As always, if you enjoyed, please rate, review, and subscribe.